woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros. Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Washington Redskins. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Breeze now on first down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
21. Ready. 90.
Here's Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Breeze to throw on second down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Pernell McPhee coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now Breeze on third down. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted.
This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he pass?
Here's Smith. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. On second down, here's Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On third down, it's Thompson. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Strong start by this defense. Third and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw, it's Breeze. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. 57 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now Breeze. That's caught. It's Thomas. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5.
0-2.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to...
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Lutz now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On the ground, it's Thompson. And he powers his way up past the 30. Demario Davis there on the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Smith. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. To throw is Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice up, a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Snap comes at 1, and now Breeze. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep here, Jamison Crowder. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Now it's Crowder. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. 1st down. Took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
To throw is Smith. He rifles one that's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Breeze gives it up to Ingram. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Get wild now.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Delta. Man, I got you. Go Delta. Go Delta.
Now it's the backup Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced them to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere and made them kick a field goal. It almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're
looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Credit the tackle to DJ Swearinger.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Kill!
Now this time, Breeze will throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Breeze now. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Breeze to throw for it on 4. That is caught inside the 5. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. They run it here with Thompson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now they'll run it on the toss. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
The Redskins on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On 1st and 10, Smith looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
He'll get it up the middle, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper into the game.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Brees going to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Brees. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Matt Ioannidis in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Third and long now after the sack of Brees, and the Saints up against it here. From the gun, it's Brees. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Smith to throw on 2nd down. That's complete right around the 8. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
On 3rd down, that's Thompson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Got it.
Breeze to Ingram on the draw. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On second down, Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys have been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on third. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Here's Breeze to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Crowder now to return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Redskins offense now. They head back onto the field. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Now Thompson. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Smith now to throw. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. First target, first catch, and a first down. Smith now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. From the gun, here's Smith. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now Smith. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Smith. And Davis with it left side. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did, and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Again, it's Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
21.
Now Breeze on third down. And that is incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Fielded at the 20. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
From the 50, it's Smith. Complete. Richardson has it. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll sneak it with Smith. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
After the run, Smith going to throw. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. You gave the stat early on that he's one of just 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards last year, and then you said they needed to bottle him up for under 100 yards. He's way under 100 yards.
Bottom line, he's had virtually no success whatsoever.
And because of that, among a couple other reasons, they're down on the scoreboard. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now this time he'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. After the interception, here's Smith. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And defensively trying to beat the 2-minute warning with a timeout, and they do. Calling it with 2:04 left. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now the man from nearby Baton Rouge. It's the LSU star, Darius Geis. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively. So on comes the kicker, Dustin Hopkins, in a big spot. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And shutting him off. Now open field. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there. And now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Kamara. A gain of 3, 2nd down. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll.
No timeout. You got to go quick here.
Back to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a pitch out to Kamara. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it. A road win. And so for the Redskins, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get it.